Good day. Just want to make something clear with this beautiful weather we're having this summer. These videos are going to be shorter. Reason being, I've got a big fan here, 16-inch fan. I've had to turn it off to do this video so it don't make too much noise. So there you go. So moving on to the next project. And you remember I did a video last month, Peachy's Blinders, 3 guitars off my mate Rob Peach. And he sent me down a Ernie Ball Axis, which I refretted. Now refretted also is PV Jack Daniels and something else, can't remember what it was. What were it? Whatever, don't matter what it was. And he sent me another one down. In fact, when I took them 3 back, he gave me another one. He says, here, 1 fret level that. Here you go. Or is it? Well, it's a PRS. I think you know that much. It's a PRS SC-245. First one I've seen with dot inlays on here. Beautiful guitar, lighter than it looks. Beautiful guitar. Just in for a refret. Replacement pickup in there. Don't know. That's probably Dimarzio, knowing Peachy. That'll be the regular PRS in there. So that's it. Going to do a fret level on this. Just starting it today. Nothing out of the ordinary there. I will not be removing my nut after last month's escapade with the, unless it's loose. Remember what I did last month with the Jack Daniels? It took a big chunk out, cost me 100 quid to get sorted out down with Clive Eastwood there. So I'm not going to remove my nut, don't see why I should. So fret level, going on my jig, get it all skimmed across with fret leveling beam, get them all recrown polished, get the neck oiled, get it set up on there. And get it back to him by the weekend, job done. So that's it really. Like I say, it's too warm in here to not have a fan on. I'm going to bang a fan on now. Oh, beautiful. And the reason I don't want a video with that on because it's probably going to be too loud. I don't know if you're going to hear me now. So that's it. Back later in update. And here we go with Rob Peach's PRS SC, whatever it is. I'll tell you a bit. SC-245. These frets have had hardly any wear on them at all, and when I took it from him I said, do you need a fret level? He says, do it anyway, it's never had one. So I've gone, there's probably 3 frets that are high, but you get away with them. Now it's not good enough for Rob Peach, so I've gone across the frets with a fine tooth comb, every area of fret, and there are 15 spots that are a tiny bit high, but they're a fraction. Under normal play you wouldn't notice, but because Peachy likes a straight neck, hardly any relief in it at all, likes a perfect straight neck and as low an action as possible, I'm going to do a fret level on this. It's probably going to be the easiest one I'm ever going to do, because all I've got to do is I've probably got to do about a dozen strokes with my leveling beam. But most of the work, as always, the work will always be in the crowning and especially the polishing. So I'll explain to you, well, this full fret needs doing. You've got 1 spot, 2 spots on that fret, 2 spots on that fret, that's 7, 1 spot there 8, all of that fret 11, 2 spots on there 13, 1 spot there 14, 1 spot there 15. Hardly anything. I bet most guitars out there that are never at a fret level are probably in that sort of condition and they're playable. I've got some like that that are playable. But Peachy being Peachy, he says, I'm not bothered, it's never had one. Go and do your magic on it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go across with a fine file. I'm just going to take the tiniest bit off each area, checking with this all the time, fret rocker, and then I'll just go across with the sanding beam, just a few strokes on the sanding beam, and I'll get them all crowned and repolished. There's no point me showing you the work. I've done loads of these jobs lately. You know how it works. Back later. Right, good day. Follow up on Peach's PRS guitar, which has had a complete fret level, recrowned, and I've polished. The reason I've got it split here and here is this polishing's finished, and this is a polishing I'm just about to finish. And if you can see, I'm going to see if you can notice a difference. I'm just going to zoom in just a little. Now these ones have been polished with 4 different grits of sandpaper. 1000 grit, 1200, 1500, 2000, and finished off with wire wool, steel wool. They're really highly polished now. There are no lines in there. They're beautiful. Now someone on one of my YouTube pages the other day said, why do you use the finest steel wool? It's only the same grit as 600 grit paper. Well, I totally disagree, because a grit on a paper is totally different to a steel wool fibre. Grit is sand basically glued to a piece of paper, and it's going to make lines across that way, whereas these are highly polished using steel wool, because you're going across, it's not got grits like grits of sand, it's just a fine steel wool. The high polish on these is amazing. You can virtually see your face in these frets, they're absolutely beautiful. Whereas these are not highly polished yet. And I'm going to just zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to see if you can notice a difference. So these are really highly polished. I've done 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they're done. So this one's not done. So what I'm going to do is, just going to highly polish this one. And you might be able to see a difference with me doing this. I'm doing this one wrong side, I'm going to stay. And what I do is I go outside, I go both sides. So I'm going one, that's the side. What I'm doing is I'm coming up to the side, and I'm going to come up to the side, this side, and then I go across the top. The difference to me between that one I've just done and that one is black and white. It's amazing. You're getting a high polish. Where are we? Go over there, like so. There you go. And it's the second one, it's this one I've just done. The difference between that and that is black and white to me. Super highly polished. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get on with these few. Once they're done, I peel all the tape off, and then I'm just going to lemon oil fingerboard and we can get the guitar set up. So to me, yeah, I wanted to explain the difference between wire wool. They can say it's like 600 grit, it's nothing like 600 grit, it's super fine. This is the finest wire wool you can get, 0000. It's amazing stuff. And the way it polishes these frets is absolutely beautiful. That's fantastic. Like I say, go over the top and get right in to this bottom edge here, right up to the fingerboard, right on the tape. And again, come from this side. Beautiful, then do the top again. These edges, the bevels I've already done, I do them first. But that to me is absolutely black and white, it's beautiful. Anyway, I'll be back together. I'll get it, once I've got it all back together, in fact prior to doing the setup, I'll come and shave the fingerboard when I get the mineral oil on there, then we'll get the setup done and we'll get it all tagged and bagged and ready to go. And we're back with another one of Peachy's blinders. Now Rob Peach is a man I met just over a year ago, I think. He found me out on Facebook, and he'd tried a few Guitar Tech luthiers at Birmingham ways from Cannock, and they were never impressed with the work, but he found me and he gave me a go, and he sent me a 2005 custom Les Paul, or not a custom Les Paul, Les Paul Special, or whatever, well, whatever it was, an expensive Gibson Les Paul, and I did some fretwork for him, sent it to him, I absolutely loved it. So he sends me all his guitars now, and this is the fifth one. Now Rob, he only has high-end guitars, and this is no different. It's a PRS, is it the PRS SC-245, and I've just done a fret level on it. And all his guitars, if he had to the fret level, we've had a refret, and he loves my work. So there you go. And I call him Peachy's blinders because all his guitars are blinding. But here we are with this one. Just levelled all the frets, recrowned them, polished them, and I've just oiled the neck of the fingerboard. So it's almost ready for a setup. I'm not going to do the setup right now because I'm going to let this oil soak in and it's going to nourish the wood. I'm going to leave the setup till later. I just wanted to show the guitar as it is now before I do the setup. I've got to alter the pickups and stuff like that, which I'll do while I'm talking. But again, like I say, Rob sent all his guitars to me, and he lives out in Cannock, and I think that's just testament to my work, you know, and how much trust he puts in me to do this. I am a fret and neck specialist. But it's not the only work I do. I'm also good. I mean, Floyd Rose's here my specialty as well. I've been doing Floyd Rose's for 30 odd years. And so if you're watching this video and you see me for the first time and you're based around the Midlands, you know, I've got clients all over Britain that drive up or post the guitars down to me. You know, check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. That's facebook.com/NG17. Frets are my thing. I've got more fret jobs to do in this week. But there you go, another one of Peachy's blinders. This is a last mini update until I do the setup. It's going to be a regular setup. I might have to just alter the nut a little bit, because obviously if I've levelled the frets, I've taken them down probably 1/10 of a millimetre. I might have to just alter the action on my nut and cut into the grooves a little bit, just make the slots a bit deeper. So we keep the action nice and low. Now Rob doesn't like relief in his neck. If he does, he wants it minimal. So what I'm going to do is, I've not altered the neck at all. I've not touched the truss rod, and I'm not going to touch the truss rod. And I'm going to basically get the bridge back on, get the strings on, get the nut on. I'll check the action of the nut. If it's a bit high, we'll lower that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the action height at the strings here at the 12th fret. And again at the bridge. I'm going to get all the intonation right, and I'm going to get it set to, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to set it up how it was set up when it came into the workshop, because I know how Rob likes his guitar set up. And if the action's a little bit high, I'm going to lower it until I get no buzz. And if I need to, I'm going to put the tiniest bit of relief in my neck. Not anything major, not that he'll notice. It means we can get that action that little bit lower. Because I know he likes a nice low action, but we can't really get the lowest of actions if we have my neck dead straight. We need to put some relief in there. So I'm going to keep it to a minimum. And I'm going to push the boundaries on this setup. I'm going to go as low as I dare without getting any fret buzz. I'm going to really kind of, not take the mickey, but I'm going to go as low as I can. Because this being a PRS and a high-end guitar, I should be able to set this neck straight and get the action low without any fret buzz anywhere. The frets are absolutely bang on level now. It'll be like it's been plecked. It's what I specialise in. It's what I'm good at. So I'm going to try and push the boundaries and see how low I can really get it. Looking back at the frets, I'll bring them a little bit closer. You can have a close up on there. See how highly polished they are. They'll have a bit of oil residue on there because I've not wiped off the neck yet. But you get an idea of my fretwork. Absolutely brilliant. I guarantee there will not be one rocking fret on there. You won't find anything. There won't be no rock anywhere. They're absolutely bang on level. So that's it. Until I get this guitar set up now, there's not going to be another update. So I'm going to crack on with something else. I'm going to put this back in its case. Obviously I've got all Rob's guitars coming at hard case, him working at his Cots cases. They would do, wouldn't they? I'm going to get back in its case, and I'm going to come back to the setup probably a little bit later this afternoon. Back later. Right, I'm back with Peachy's PRS, and as I mentioned before in my last video, I'm going to set the guitar up, but it's a good job I didn't set the guitar up, because Peachy actually rang me. Rob Peachy rang me this afternoon, talk about stuff as we do now and again, and it came about that I'm not just setting this guitar up. I'm supposed to be installing a new pickup. I'm supposed to be taking this out, PRS or whatever pickups in there. I think that's it's a 59 in there, Zebra 59 under that cover. And he wants me to take that out and replace it with, I wondered why this was in the case, it's a Dimarzio Bluesbreaker, absolutely brand spanking new, still got labels on it. He says, what's it sound like that? New pickup in it. I says, what new pickup? He says, the one you're supposed to be pouring in. I says, you what? Hammer? Forgot all about that. So brand new, spanking brand new pickup there. Got to put that in the neck, so I'm going to do that instead of doing the setup. And like I say, the fret level's done. All the polishing's done, the recrowding polishing, that was all done. So I'm going to crack on and swap his pickups out. Then I'll do the setup. So, my mistake, good job he rang, isn't it? Oh, you'll notice I've changed my workshop round again. I've moved that table from a far wall onto this wall, because now the computer's gone. I've got a lot more space, I've got a lot more room in here now. The Sealy cabinet I had behind me, the green thing, is now over this side. I'm going to build a new racking system for guitars. Where them guitars are in that corner behind me, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guitars in that corner. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a racking system above that, so I can get 7 more above it. I was get 14 guitars in that corner. I've got a rack with 7 there, so I get 20 odd guitars in this room. So I'm going to do that sometime soon. A little bit cramped in this corner. This table's a bit close to my main workbench, but it can work. It's okay. When you've got a room like this, or just a living room in a terrace house, you've got to you've got to take advantage of the space you've got and make it work for you as much as you possibly can. So it's all right. Feels quite good. Feels nice. Anyway, there you go. Going to crack on this PRS. I'll be back with a final update later. Back here with a handy little tip for you people trying to thread a pickup cable through a guitar and it's not having it. Well, here's the one I've removed. But I was having trouble threading my new Dimarzio through the cavity body to get it come out of the control into the control area behind here. So what I did was I threaded through a guitar string and I've soldered one of the wires to the guitar string. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it from the back. I'm going to pull the pickup wire through the guitar, and there you go. And you're watching as I'm doing it, and there you go, got it through all the way. Turn that round the right way, blah 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 blah, and there you go, pickups in, wires threaded through, and I've got it out the other side. Look, there you go, job done. I'm going to unsolder that guitar string now, and that's it, we're laughing. Handy little tip for you there. Back soon. Good day. Back in the rearranged, not pre-arranged, workshop. Table movement, obviously because my computer is now gone. Blew up last week. I ordered a laptop anyway. I don't need a table for a laptop, so I'm able to rearrange my room, make the space work better for me. But let's get on to the topic of discussion this morning, and we're back with Mr. Peachy's PRS SC-245. It's all done. Eventually changed the pickup, put the Dimarzio Blues, whatever it is, in there. I've done the setup. It did need a setup. He said he never got on with this guitar, and I kind of know why. The intonation was wrong on the bridge. Bridge wasn't set right. I've had to reset that, and the action was far too low, so there's no reason I didn't get on with it. Now it plays without buzz anywhere, all up and down the neck. It's absolutely fine. I've had it plugged in. It sounds great. So it's all done. It's all ready to go. I'm not sure how much these guitars are. They're a few £1,000. They're not cheap. I don't know if this is a bit less because it hasn't got bird inlays. I don't know what it's worth, but it's worth a lot of money. And like he says, he hasn't bonded with it, but I'm kind of hoping he does bond with it now, because I've done got a good setup on there. It's all ready to go. So that's it. He's going to come and pick this up. He's coming over Saturday to pick this up, so I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with it. I'll show you the serial number on the back. Is it OB or something? I don't know what it is. 14493. There you go. USA model. Very, very nice guitar. I hope he bonds with it, because it's a very nice guitar. It is an high-end guitars, does Peachy. That's why I call them Peachy's blinders. But anyway, that's another one done. It's had, just to recap, it came in for a complete fret level. I says, does it really need one? He says it's never had one. Well, on checking it and getting everything level and straight, there were 15 high spots on the 22. How many frets is it? 22 frets. So quite a bit. Get it a great, get it fret level, recrown, polish, blah 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 blah. That's all I charged him for. Didn't charge him for a setup. Didn't charge him for installing the pickup. He gets a special rate, does Peachy, because that's how we get on. We get on like that. So that's it then. That's that one finished. I'm gonna put it back in its case and wait for him to come and pick it up in a couple of days' time. So as always, until the next project, good to each other, and I'll talk to you again soon.